Well, here we are, Brent. A Ruck and Run. We've been talking about doing it for a while, and there's no such time as the present. After the Jeppe KES fixture this past Saturday, we've had obviously the Easter festivals behind us, and the school rugby season is well underway. So a great time to have a chat and talk about our favourite sport, schoolboy rugby.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Yeah, it's great to be here.
Yeah, well,
It's great to be here, and our pilot. And
yes, exactly.
season's well and
As I
truly
say,
on the road.
the best armchair schoolboy critic in the country.
Yeah.
So you need a proper introduction. But yeah, no, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope the guys out there enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So obviously we had we'll kick off with the big derby, Jeppe KES, that happened the past Saturday.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to be there. Great vibe, great spirit as usual. I know we watched a bit on TV this time, eh?
Yeah, unfortunately couldn't make the game. So I watched it on Super Sport schools. And I mean, it looked, the school looked absolutely packed. It looked absolutely jam-packed, the grandstands. They make extra seating available for the derby. And I mean, it's just, look, I mean, people always speculate about the numbers. Anywhere between 10 and 15,000, which is slightly ambiguous. But in terms of the biggest derby in the country, I don't think it's, I think in the context of Joburg, it is the biggest derby in Joburg. But Polcham and Paulrus, I mean, when that comes around, that'll probably top it. I mean, they expect, I think, 20,000 odd. But at this, the vibe was good. The quality of the feed on Super Sport Schools was good. The commentators were very good. They were enthusiastic, and they were well into it, and they sort of set the tone and created the vibe. So it was a good watch. It was a good watch.
Yeah.
The rugby itself, the game itself, maybe didn't quite live up to expectations.
Yeah.
But we can discuss that.
Yeah, we'll discuss that. I think neither side played as well as what they could have. But just in terms of we were chatting about that, just the great rivalry between the two schools, but it's done in such good spirits, and good on the two schools for that mutual sort of respect. There obviously is the rivalry is there, but a lot of the guys are friends, as you said, off the field, and they give it to each other on the field. But there's no animosity, there's no niggle, It's just a real respect between the two.
Yeah, it's
which
become
is wonderful to see.
Yeah, 100%. It's become a brotherhood. When the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, there was a bit of niggle and there was a bit of animosity and almost some hatred. Sort of like, I don't know when it changed, but maybe mid-90s, early 21st century, that sort of changed. It's now more of a brotherhood. There's a strong rivalry, but there's a brotherhood. There isn't this animosity and this niggle that there was back in the 60s, 70s, which is great. Me as a spectator, and an old boy, when I go to Jeppe to watch any game, but particularly the derby, the kids, they greet you, they respect you. Hello, sir. Good morning, sir. There's complete respect. They make you feel welcome. They make you feel comfortable. So they're great hosts. Even for a fixture this big, there's absolutely no issues whatsoever. And I take it you felt the same when you went on.
No, absolutely, exactly. It's we were in which is also nice. They've designated, like you said, they're always adding stands, it seems, but they've designated seating areas for the KES supporters, which is obviously really great. And because it's in Joburg, you think it's a home fixture, but because of the two schools, there's almost the same amount of support for each side there on the day.
Yes.
And Jeppe have got such they've got such a great spirit, I must say. They're great singers, those youngsters.
Their war cries are good.
The war cries, like I say, both schools, right?
Yeah.
I see KES had one or two new ones up their sleeve as well, which was actually nice to see. But that was, that's just part of it. And I think for people who haven't been able to attend live or haven't had the privilege of watching the two schools live, it's definitely something to make sure, the return fixtures in August, I think, Brent.
Yeah.
And then, I'd encourage the guys, if you haven't tried it, even as a neutral supporter, just come down and witness that, because it really is something special. The two schools really do well. They respect each other. And like I said, played in good spirits. Yeah, the guys go hard at each other. The
Yeah.
coaches, I think, get the most excited out of even the players or the spectators.
Yeah.
They really, it's
Coaches
a
and
tense fixture.
commentators.
It's a tense fixture for the coaches.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. It's
But,
season defining. It's season defining for both of them.
Yeah, exactly. But wonderful, wonderful day. Maybe we get a bit more in the nitty gritty of the actual game. I think Jeppe were absolutely dominant on the day, and I think the scoreline flatters KES at halftime. Just the amount of possession that Jeppe were able to keep and have and looking after the ball, and KES being pinned down in their own 22 a lot of that first half and having to tackle the whole time. You sort of had the feeling like the damn wall's going to burst here at some point, typically in a derby, KES hung in there, defended, like you say, they, the guys really fight plucky in defense. They always are up for it. I suppose, pretty man, not to be too ridiculous, but like, when they say the Springboks and the All Blacks play each other, you don't need to give a team talk before the game, because it must be the same for the boys when they're playing Jeppe and vice versa,
Yeah.
No. So yeah, I think, it would be good to get your analysis on what you thought.
Yeah, it was a tough fixture. It was a tough game, 100%. Jeppe were up for it from the kickoff. That sort of set the tone for the game. The kickoff set the tone for the game. Jeppe, we couldn't control possession from the kickoff. Jeppe won the ball back, took it through 11, 12 phases. KES were defending for their lives in the first 2.5 minutes, and they defended well. Jeppe KES got a free kick because head beyond the knees. There was a technical free kick that Jeppe conceded, and we sort of got out of jail, were able to sort of regroup and sort of reassess. But look, that sort of set the tone for the game. It set the tone for the game. There was just such dominance up front. It's just everything we did was sort of under duress. It was under extreme pressure. Whereas Jeppe, they had time, they had space.
They also had the ball.
They had the ball, they had possession, they were dominating lineouts. Their scrum was strong. There were big carries. They were dominating us at the breakdowns. So we sort of playing catch up for much of the game. Jeppe got a penalty. They opened their scoring with a penalty, 3 points. Showed us a bit of respect, which is nice. I like that. They treated this game with the due respect it deserved. Their first opportunity to score points from a penalty, they take the 3. Good move, okay? We struck back quite soon after that. Around the 5.5 minute mark, we get a line out, one of the few line outs that we actually win. Deep inside the Jeppe 22. I think Barnard takes the line out ball. We set up two phases, that's all, from that line out. We set up a line out more, and then we break 2 phases. Barnard goes over under the posts. We convert 7-3. Like, brilliant. Technically, a brilliant set piece, a brilliant move. 2 phases, nothing flash, nothing complicated. A simple move, done correctly, done accurately, done with precision and power. We score, we take the points, and that's one of the highlights of the half. As bad as our lineouts were, and they were atrocious, we scored 2 tries from attacking lineouts. The lineout as a source of attack and source of possession, it's crucial, absolutely crucial.
Absolutely,
so while we score 2 tries, we also conceded points. We conceded territory, and we lost too many lineouts.
It's just at this sort of level, Brent. It's just impossible to play if you're losing that many lineouts. And it wasn't just in the second half when the youngster came on as a substitute. It was throughout the game the lineouts just weren't great. And I actually thought back to the St. John's fixture. And it was something similar, like it wasn't as bad, but
Yeah.
there were a couple of lineouts that the guys lost in that. So it's definitely an area which obviously it doesn't take rocket science. So I'm sure the coaches are all over it.
Yeah, sure.
But, lineouts is timing and repetition, and, you got to do a lot of those during the week to get it right. They just didn't, the timing was all off. The
Yeah.
amount of time that the poor guys took to actually throw in
Yeah.
to start the line out was just way too long, and it just
Yeah.
shows you there's an uncertainty about what's going to happen,
Yeah.
or what they're going to try and do here.
Yeah.
So it was very difficult to watch that, and of course for the boys very difficult to play. So yeah, I'm sure kids are on top of it, and they're going to fix
Yeah.
that. But on the day, it made it extremely difficult to compete. And if you go back and look at sort of the points that was scored, how many times that was from a lost KES lineup.
Yeah.
Whether it be that the back of the lineout, Jeppe guys got the ball and sort of made a bit of a break. You're not set for defense, so you're not
Yeah.
expecting to lose nights like that.
Yeah, no, 100%.
It's not like the old days where a lineout was a 50-50. Today, a lineout is a massive attacking opportunity.
No, 100%. You give away field position. You give away field position. You give away possession. If you knock your line out ball, you throw in skew. You got a scrum and you're defending a scrum. And Jeppe's scrum was strong. It was good. So Jeppe would compete in the line out. If they didn't win the line out ball and then had ball to attack off, they would force the error, either a knock or a skew throw, and then have the scrum where they could attack from the scrum. So it just made for a long afternoon. And they did score. Yeah. They got themselves sort of out of situations by competing or winning the line out. They put more pressure on us in our own territory by competing or winning our line out. And they just took away a source of possession and attack ball from us, and there was just absolutely nothing we could do. So that was, for me, the game was won and lost at the lineouts. But having said that, I mean, Jeppe were dominant in many other areas as well. And we've discussed this. Having watched 31-24 is a damn good scoreline considering. The boys showed fight. They were plucky. They never gave up. They fought till the bitter end. But a 7-point score, is a one-score game. It's quite flattering for us. We've discussed this. If you watch that game blind, no scoreboard. You saying, that's a 40 points to 18, or it looked like a 20-25 point margin there. But
I think Jeppe will also walk away from it saying, they played far from their best on the day.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of unforced errors, a lot of unforced knock-ons, and not even in contact, just knock-ons between the scrum off and one of the runners, the forwards that they were using to batter down the defence.
Yes.
So I think if it weren't for that, as you said, at half-time, it was looking like this could get a bit ugly. Could become 20-25 point sort of diff margin.
Yeah, it could have been a blow.
But like we said, typically with a derby, the guys sort of hung in there. It's actually, when you look at it statistically, I think you would go back and say, how did they only lose by 7?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think maybe Drickus, Jeppe coaches more problems than Jubs this week.
Well,
he's got Westville. He will, but he's got Westville up. He's Grey Bloom. He's got these boys coming up. Well, I think Jubs will know what the key work-ons on you. He'll know lineouts need to be sorted out. He'll know he's got to look after his injured players. We definitely missed Naledi Perry at 7. He's been a stalwart in the lineout so far this season. They missed him big time. Excuse me. We missed Sam Smith, that inside centre, a talisman, a Craven Week player from last year, an absolute monster. I mean, absolute cog. He's a cog in that back line. Daniel's the 10 and he's the playmaker, but Sam is everything. All the players revolve around Sam because
he runs those lines.
He's a bomb. So us Twala, fullback and the right wing. So there are a couple of injuries there. Luanda's back at centre. He's a wing centre. He's back, which is good. It's nice to see him back after such a long injury layoff. And then I believe Josh Wilkinson, the left wing, absolute sprinter, absolute athlete, sub-11 second athlete. He's apparently back in training this week. So hopefully we see him against Nordieval. It'd be great if he was fit for Nordieval. But, he recovered from quite a serious ankle injury last year that sort of ended his season. And he's been battling to get back into form and fitness, but hopefully he's ready. It'll make a big difference.
Do you think that they would put him straight into the first 15?
No, they might
give him a run in seconds, maybe.
Yeah, probably that. Probably give him a run at seconds. It's a bit, it's risky to start him.
Yeah, exactly. But then on the Jeppe side, I mean, some fantastic players there. I mean, the guys well.
Yeah. Well, relatively. Yeah, Letzi and Joel Aquilo, the two centers, unbelievable. I mean, 12, 13, they were absolutely all over us, Time and space for days. They played representative rugby last season already, Craven Week or Lions under 18 academy sides. No, they're proper. They're proper. They're quality centers. I actually thought that Luxon Zwane, the scrum off, had a good game. I mean, he looks like he's a grade 11. He's maybe a bit inexperienced at this level, and he was possibly one point of weakness where we could have put a bit of pressure on him and made life difficult for Jeppe. Sort of attacked him at source. Yes, but he played well. He had a good game. Look, he was playing behind a pack that was dominating. Yeah, he played well. Tag wasn't able to put him under any sort of pressure. And then you got, I mean, look, the game was won and lost in the top 5. Gloddy, Blake Esmond, two monsters, and then your mate at prop who you like a lot.
Hey, Hammond, that boy, the lucid
Josh Hammond. Yeah.
No, I like that guy. It's, like I said, it's a proper. He's mobile. He's like carrying the ball a lot. As well. So it's like a proper brick to throw at the defense. And I think it hurts the boys when they have to tackle him over and over again. I don't know how many carries he made, but he was quite impressive to me.
Yeah, no, he's proper. He's a proper unit. I mean, he's physical and he gets stuck in there, and he's a reasonable scrummer as well. And also in their loose forwards, they've shored up their loose forward trio as well. Jeppe have with that Ross Schoeman. I'm not sure where he's from or how long he's been at the school. He might have been at quite a recent acquisition, but quality 7. And then of course Drickus Venter has his son Aiden Venter there at 6. So and they also looks a freaking hell of a talent. So
yes,
their loose trio. Solid. It's a good side. I like Jeppe. I like the look of that side. They got an unbelievably tough fixture list this season.
Yes.
But I just like the look of the side. And the thing is, though, when we talk about injuries, all right, we talk about KES having such a high attrition rate over the last couple of seasons.
Yes.
The thing with Jeppe is you look at these guys, these forwards. These boys are big boys, even their backs. They look big and robust and fit and strong. And you just feel they're better positioned to go through a season without serious injury. And if they can sort of retain most of their squad for the duration of the season, they could cause a few upsets and a few surprises. I mean, they come out of the season with 50%, 60% win ratio. They'll be more than happy considering their fixture list. If they can do it back-to-back against KES, that already for them is a successful season. That sort of, to some extent,
of course,
defines their season. So,
I think we both looked at it when those fixtures came out. We're like, wow, Jeppe really got ambitious here.
Absolutely, crazy.
And good on them for that. But I think
borders on the irresponsible.
Yeah, well, it's like you wonder, you scratch your head, and say, can you do it? And it's going to be interesting to see how they. But if there is a team that can go through a season like that, it looks like this bunch of boys because they're big guys. They're
100%
nice and physical, and it seems like maybe we've got to start asking ourselves: is it the KES thing? Is it just because they're always a smaller pack, and so they're naturally going to be like under pressure against bigger sides and the risk of injury and all of that? A good big guy always beats a good small guy.
100%. That's the challenge. A small plucky side, a small pack. That's a challenge. That's the challenge they face. Just their workload and how much is required of them. Every game, tackling guys that are 3, 4, 5 inches taller, 6, 7, 8 kilograms heavier. It takes a lot of the boys. It's physically demanding, as you know. So I would love to see a season where KES comes out with an absolute, monster, huge pack, 2-meter locks and 130 kg
Yes.
props, and we just
Well,
don't.
look,
We don't produce
might
packs like that. We just don't
well,
produce.
you can go look at the under 14As. They're starting to look like that a little bit,
Yeah,
right?
true. This is the thing. I think there's been a conscious effort. I've had this discussion. I've had discussion with some of the guys who do the recruit, but I think there's a conscious effort to try and find guys who are potentially going to produce that type 5. Yeah.
Yes.
That's going to be able to go toe to toe with the Northwoods and the Westfall and the Affies and the Jeppe. It's just, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, no, look, it comes down to science at the end of the day. I mean, it is that. I mean, no, especially amongst the forwards at schoolboy level, if you've got a dominant pack, well, at every level, if your pack dominates, it just makes life so much easier.
Yeah, but we can go on, we can analyze and scrutinize the sport as much as we like, but the game is won and lost in the type 5. End of the day, type 5. I mean, you look at freaking you had Bordeaux Beagles this weekend. 900 and something kilogram pack of forwards against Toulouse. You just can't beat that. You just can't beat that sort of power and size and weight. It's ridiculous. But anyway,
no, 100%.
But for KES,
anyway, so
who impressed you? Who impressed you in the KES 15?
Yeah, I really thought that Barnard, that's the forelock, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
I thought he would have been my man of the match from a KES point of view.
Yeah,
I think he was absolutely strong in defence. He was throwing himself around the park. He was getting around as well. For a big guy like that, he was getting around the park. For me, he was the pick of the forwards, and also one of the guys that physically could stand up to the Jeppe onslaught. He made some critical tackles there. Right on the try line, and we know that's like, he was there or thereabouts. The one player I really liked, man, you'll help me with his name, is the 8th man.
Yeah, Jeppe Klein.
Yes, I really like that guy, but he had a quiet game on Saturday, very quiet, and it was one of those things where I think, whether it was planned or not, he just didn't carry the ball a lot. He ended up being a guy going in to clean a lot of rucks, and I thought, he's one of the better ball carriers, and he should be like receiving the contact passes, and somebody else can clean the ruck. He was cleaning a lot, but he didn't get a lot of ball in hand really, which was a bit disappointing. And he could have maybe inserted himself more in the game. But I really like him as a player. And then the left wing, I think you got his name. I think you said it just now.
Keegan Jackson.
He's
looking good.
Nice,
he's having a good season.
He's going to score a lot more tries. There was one, or he got opportunity once or twice where I thought perhaps he could have backed himself on the outside, but he came in, and but then again he probably knows where he is in terms of the speed and who he's up against, and then he would bring it into retained possession. So all good in that. But he's a nice direct rugby player. I like him. He's having a good season so far. He scored 3 against Queens, and he's looking sharp. He's looking like some finisher. He's looking good. He played a bit last year for firsts, predominantly seconds. But a good prospect. He's grade 12. Jeppe Klein, the 8th man, grade 11 this year. Grand Coma last year. Standout player on the under 16As. He was actually a flanker in the under 16As. Didn't play much at 8th man. Actually, the 8th man, Panda, I think it is, 16A last year, played for the seconds. He's actually also a very good player. Very good 8th man. So I tell you what, we've got loose forwards. We've got a lot of good quality loose forwards, but Jedrick's a quality player. Also I find he starts really well. He starts really hot. Against St Andrews and Queens, first 20 minutes, he was in there absolutely all over the place, giving it stick. And he sort of fades as the game wears on. He sort of disappears a bit, he fades a bit, gets lost a bit, disappears a bit, hides a bit, whatever the case is. But he's a quality player. He's gonna go places. Look, Conor Faree at outside centre for me has been the surprise of the
of the
Yes, yeah.
Reds so far this season. Yeah, I'm enjoying him. I enjoyed him last year. He came in 16A fly off. He came over from Wynberg. I think he was at Caps originally. Family moved to Cape Town. He went to Wynberg Boys, and then family moved back to Joburg. Came back to KES. And he played 16A fly off for the majority of last season. I don't know if he played under 50, maybe not. But he just he brought that 16A backline to life. He was just exceptional. He's such a natural ball player. He's got such natural talent, a natural feel for the game. Just amazing hands. He's just, he's just, and then he just slotted in at outside centre, first team, and it looks like he belongs. He's slotted in there. It looks like he belongs. Some deft touches. That little grubber through against Queens to put Keegan in the corner. Yes. I like him. He's a small chap, quite diminutive, but he tackles, not scared to tackle, not scared to get stuck in. Quality, like him. So there are a lot of green shoots. A lot of green shoots in that KES side. I think, it's not all doom and gloom. It was a tough fixture.
No, not at all.
Like
I say, I think neither side will walk, off the field after Saturday or coaching-wise or players to say that was their best performance of the season. There's a lot in the tank on both sides
for sure.
to play a lot better. I think there's a lot to look forward to for both the sides this season.
100%.
I think then our favourite time of the year, apart from Christmas lunch, is the Easter festivals, and it was nice to be able to get together and watch a bit of the rugby, and I think we could just maybe just touch on the St. John's and KES festivals, or start off with St. John's. St. John's, what a beautiful venue.
Incredible.
It's just unbelievable. But then what they have done very well is I found they had a great fixture list. That was very exciting.
Box office,
100%. To bring those schools out as well, the Nudgee from Australia, that their first and seconds out. And then Westlake from New Zealand. This is just an incredible experience for all the boys involved. And then we're lucky for us as spectators that we get to, actually watch these kids, and you can actually just see that those differences. Like there's a different approach, how they play the game. Everyone's as fit and strong as each other, but it's just how they approach the game and the way they go about things. So there was, I thought, from that point of view, St. John's got it right in terms of fixtures,
100%. They were super. The fixtures were pretty much box office. Obviously, Grey College versus Nudgee was sort of a headline fixture, and the Monument Westlake game as well, absolute headline. Day one, Thursday, was just it was box office. I haven't been to St. John's festival for a number of years. I just found the campus is not the easiest to get around, and also your perspective of the field in that is it's a bit further away than you're a bit further away from the action than I'd like. But having said that, Thursday was such a, one just had to be there. If you're into schoolboy rugby, you had to attend on that Thursday. And it was just incredible. Absolutely amazing day out. I loved it. I loved all of it. And the Monument Westlake game, that was incredible.
For me, I thought one of the best schoolboy rugby games I've watched for a long time.
The Monument Westlake.
I really enjoyed it. It had all the elements, the guys also, it was a physical encounter, but it was also very fast. The guys really ran at each other. It was really, really impressive, right? And I think Monas were good value there.
100%.
Against them. But then you could also see they're actually also a very big side.
Huge.
They are huge. They've got some spectacular specimens there.
Big boys.
But then it doesn't mean that they play slow. They actually play high tempo rugby. But there again, just we won't go into too much detail about each of these games. But the one thing that Monas will have to look at is and you made the point watching them, is that they've got quite a leaky defense sometimes. They have these lapses. They give away like a soft try where they've been dominating. Even if they're ahead on the scoreboard, the tries that get through just seem a little soft sometimes.
100%. That's the thing. They score a lot of points, and end up scoring, outscoring their opponents a lot of the time, but they also concede a lot of soft tries. There's a little bit of a soft underbelly there in terms of their defense. But look, nothing I don't think their coach can't sort out. And they've got some box office players. I mean, Noble, they're 9 SA schools last year. Okay. So he was in the Cape and moved up to Joburg. So great acquisition there, and they got some monster forwards. They got a huge pack, and just the inside centre. I'm not sure of his name, and the 10, Cameron Fourie, I think it is. Just quality players. They've got some quality players, but they're going to have to shore up their defence. What's quite interesting, actually, a bit of a shock. Was a bit of a shock to me is they currently ranked sort of 17th nationwide. Monument. I think they're a lot better than that, to be honest. I think they're potentially. I think they're definitely a top 15 side, potentially top 10. We'll discuss that, but currently ranked 17th. But I don't know if that's a fair reflection of their form.
I don't think. Let's put it this way. I don't think they'll finish 17th.
No, 100%.
I think
they'll move up.
It's also based on where we are in the season now, but I can't see Kimonos staying 17th. But as I say, we'll get to that in the later segment.
We'll discuss the ranking. Rankings always
100%.
Bone of contention.
But then 100%. There was also we'll get back to the Nudgy Great Bloom, because I think that's important to talk about that game. That was proper. Where two number ones are taking each other on. We can just
SA versus Australia.
We can actually talk about it right now. We don't need to wait.
100%.
That is, I mean, that to me just was like such high quality rugby. And to be fair, I didn't know anything about Nudgy, so I won't claim to have known them before. I know you knew who they were. But what's that documentary that we watched? That I watched afterwards now, because I became a Nudgy fan a little bit.
I'm not sure. It was called
The Season. So for those of the guys out there that want to learn a bit more about this school, wow, what a rugby program those guys have in place.
What is it, like a little 2-part documentary, or is it
No, it's a good 5-6 episodes.
Oh, okay. All right.
It follows them through the 2017 season. And it takes like pre-season, and so these guys, what they put into pre-season is just something that I don't, I'm not on the inside of the systems at Grey Bloom and Paul Jim, so perhaps it's obviously on par. But
I don't know. I don't know if South African high schools actually have a designated pre-season, so to speak. But maybe someone can add some clarity to that. And Nudgy were here. Nudgy were here. This was part of their pre-season. Nudgy. Their season starts proper in July.
Yes, exactly.
Apparently. So,
they do a proper 6-month pre-season.
They're still building up to their season.
Yes, and it's high intensity. When I watched that documentary afterwards, it put into perspective how they could take Grey Bloom on like that and ultimately beat them with a last-minute drop goal. And so typically Australian, like they're very clever players. I thought they played intelligently.
What is their 10's name? Chile. Was it Peter Chile or somebody?
You've got me now.
Forget what their 10.
You've got me now. We'll have to go and
some
check that again.
I
don't know if it was Hind or
Chile, somebody like that. But
I think I'm guessing now. But
technically well coached.
They're so they really are very precise, accurate in what they do. The execution is so good, where at certain points, Grey Bloom can dominate them physically, and it just looks like they're swarming them, and then boom, 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 and the next minute the ball's down the other end of the park, and there's been a kick through and somebody's chasing it. I thought when it was one of those, it's almost like when you talk about Springboks Australia, is that it feels like you dominate, but these guys just don't go away on the scoreboard, because they'll come and score what we think is a soft try, but it's not soft. It's more intelligently worked. They've seen space somewhere or whatever. They kick well into those spaces. So they had like one of these little trick line-out moves that they've got. And funny enough, in the documentary, they used the same move in the documentary in 2017.
Great
so
college coaches should have been watching it.
We should have forwarded to them, but like I said, I
Too
only
late.
knew about him after
Next
watching
season.
them. So, yeah, 100%. I think that was a fantastic, high-quality game. Wow.
Yeah. No,
Give it to both sides.
No, 100% it was. It was a quality game, and that 5 meter line out, they just did that move, and poof, the hooker practically walked over for the try. Yeah, it was just clinical, just so well coached and
well worked. Yeah,
100%. And I mean, they seem to get a read on Gray's backline moves quite early on in the game. I mean, they manufactured 2 or 3 intercepts.
Yeah.
Like throughout the course of the game, like clean intercepts. I think the one the cover defense got the guy. Another one, I think the guy was offsides, and then one of them they scored from. One intercept they actually scored a try from. Might have been the 10 again. So they seem to get a read quite early on what Gray were doing on their backline moves and that sort of thing. So it might be their rugby IQ, or it might have been something their coaches drilled into them before the game. They might have done their homework.
Yeah, maybe they watched the right videos.
Probably, 100%. Probably a bit of both.
And I wouldn't rule it out.
No, 100%. That's the thing. They deserved the win. They were completely deserving of the win, and on the day they just showed superior rugby IQ. And I mean, that's the sort of thing you come to expect from Australia, though. You expect these guys to pitch up prepared, and they did.
100%. Yeah, no,
and they did. So. But then Hilton obviously proved the difference.
I wanted to say that I think that's going to become interesting down the line. Is that obviously Hilton then went on day 2 to beat them 17-12, I think it was.
Yeah.
And that would be interesting now to see how that form line works out.
Yeah.
Because we're not giving Hilton a lot of sort of credit because Nudgy beat Grey Bloem.
Yeah.
So it will be interesting to see how that form line sort of works out. We will also then go back and look at saying, well, Nudgy, they played 2 big games within 3 days.
Yeah.
And with a flight out and on the Highveld and blah, 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 So
all the travelling, yeah.
We and we already know in schoolboy rugby you can't put a direct line of form through results, but
100%.
Good on Hilton at least for making sure the Aussies go home with 1 loss and that they know they've come to a top class festival. But it was great. I mean, it's great just to see, and I'm sure the boys make great mates, and maybe even lifelong mates.
It's incredible. What an incredible experience for everybody involved. I mean, it's a privilege and honor for all those boys to come here. And for our boys to play them as well. I mean, it's just...
Yeah.
It's a highlight of a guy's career, And
exactly.
And they'll be talking about it. I mean, well, schoolboy career anyway. I mean, they'll be talking about it for many years to come. I mean, Nudgy and that performance. But just like on that Hilton, not wanting to take anything away from the Hilton victory, but you say Nudgy's second tough game within 3 days, after travelling however many thousands of kilometres from Australia. But, you also got to look at Grey College and their workload. That was their third or fourth game in as many, in space of 10 days. So, they've gone to Noordzee and they've had a couple of tough fixtures there, and then they've come straight to St. John's Easter Festival. So we've got to ask questions about the workload these guys are expected to take on,
And the timing of it and the quality of opposition.
Correct.
It's not like they're just taking on a team. This is the number 1 side. And they just come off that. They'd come off that loss. It was on the Tuesday.
Not entirely sure of the timeline, but just lost to, I think it might have been the Saturday. Lost to Stellenberg on the Saturday or whatever it was. Stellenberg, your boys. Actually, it might have been a Monday game or a Tuesday. Monday game. Noordzee lost to Stellenberg. I mean, they played, I don't know, Helpmekaar, Monas on the Saturday, Stellenberg on the Monday, and then Nudgy on the Thursday. So that's just those 3 games in the space of a week. That's too much, dude. It's too much.
Yeah, it is too much.
So, and then we're also going to talk about the Orion Klein incident, but we'll leave that for the end of the.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
but it's just too much. It's too much to expect these guys to. So that's a factor. Then Hilton arrived; they're a lot fresher. Hilton would have played a week ago.
I think they had played 2 games so far in the season.
100%.
Yeah.
I think they played Nelspruit. They played Nelspruit High School. smashed them
Yeah.
65-40. Not much of a workout for them
Yeah.
on the Thursday. Smashed Nelspruit High School, then played Nudgee on the Saturday. So a lot fresher. Obviously, you presume a fewer injuries, a lot fresher, and just hungrier.
Yeah.
And they knew what they were up against. They would have arrived at the stadium like, fully prepped and amped and psyched to go in a hard game, which it was. But they got the result, 17-12. Amazing result.
Yeah. No, you could see them.
Fantastic result. I mean, me and you watched that game in the pub, and hey,
Yeah, exactly.
It was exciting.
No,
it was quality.
Proper.
Yeah,
it was proper. Well, but again, credit to Nudgee because they are a proper team.
100%.
I really enjoyed them.
100%.
I think we could probably then move on to the KES Fest. I think obviously we're very biased, but yes, hang on, we have to come back because maybe one of the St. John's guys hears this. The one thing that was really irritating was the fact that they kept on blaring music over the game throughout the game and all the games, and it really took away from the atmosphere. So if any of you St. John's guys are out there, whoever it may be, I mean the production's great, everything's great, it's beautiful, I love it. But that really did take something away, I thought, from the experience of the school where it didn't allow the crowd to really become part of it.
Me and you discussed it. The crowd is the music. The boys taking chunks out of each other on the field, and the tackles and the contacts, that whole energy and that whole vibe on the field, and that's the music.
Yes.
You don't need freaking background music. Keep it for you can play in the beer tent, away from the main field. 100%. But for me, that was maybe my only complaint of the St. John's Festival was maybe sort of they were sort of creating a vibe with the music and the stadium announcer and whatever, but it lacked it lacked crowd involvement. It lacked crowd involvement. I didn't feel that the crowd was that into it. Where we were sitting at behind the poles, if a try was scored at the opposite end of the field, like we wouldn't really know unless we saw the referee awarding the try. Whereas you would expect when a try is scored for the crowd to go absolutely nuts, regardless of whether they're supporting the team or not. And we didn't sort of have that crowd engagement.
No.
To the extent that you have it at KES. KES is far more intimate.
Exactly.
It's far more intimate, closer to the ground.
Which is why we're moving on to KES now.
100%.
That's our biased opinion, right?
Yeah.
Is that I think it's a festival.
But it's completely vindicated. It's biased, but it's completely vindicated.
What's that?
It's completely vindicated. It's biased, but it's completely vindicated. I mean, it's absolutely,
Yeah. No, agreed. I think so. It just is. It's really there with the rugby's at the forefront.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. It's like people enjoy watching schoolboy rugby. It's not about, setting off fireworks or listening to an announcer announcing that some tire company has sponsored this part of the show or whatever. It's just pure schoolboy rugby. The beer tent is a good walk away from the stand. So if it keeps that side of it. When you want to have a cold one, then you have to commit to going having a cold one and miss out on rugby. And
it's not that far away. A couple of 100 meters.
It depends, but with me, everything feels far away. But it's a well put together festival. I've been going to it basically since it started, and it never disappoints. I think we were, and this maybe it sounds harsh, but I think we used to slightly stronger fixtures, and we spoke about this as well, where maybe because Pretoria Boys High had their 125th year, they don't normally have Easter festivals, so they had that, and that maybe took out the Grey High School, Port Elizabeth, or other teams like that might have had at the festival. We were missing an Uffies. We were missing an Uffies of Paul Boys, Jeppe. Those are somebody top schools that had been there in previous years that were committed to Pretoria Centenary, which apparently was also a great festival. So well done to them. Well done to them. 100%, and congrats on that. But I think it was all in all, I mean, Saturday was just jam packed. It was. I think it might have been the fullest that I can remember. For the final game, or the KES fixture. It was full. You couldn't find a seat anywhere. It was blazing hot, which is unusual for
Wow,
Easter.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like that. It's enjoyed the whole weekend. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
It was great.
global warming probably, huh?
Great,
But
great weather for it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But in any case, I think so. It's just the fixtures, but yeah, nonetheless, we saw some great rugby there. I think I have to mention one of the teams that I really enjoyed, and is Northwood.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the way they go about it, the brand of rugby they play.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoy them. I think they're another team, almost like how we spoke about Monash now, as like what you see on the field, and maybe if you look at the results, their ranking, I don't think and I don't know where exactly they're ranked at the moment, but I don't see them finishing there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you now where they ranked, if you want to know. They ranked 15th. Okay, so they played Westville on they played Westville on Saturdays. Westville ranked like 7th.
Yeah, they just got pipped there, I think 5 points or so.
Yeah, 35-29, I think it was. But
yeah,
look, I watched that game. Super Sports Series, not a very good feed. But having said that, Northwood were full value for money. I mean, Westville won the game, but I mean, Northwood, I think they were actually 5 tries all at full time. And the big difference was in the first half, in a bit of a wind, Northwood couldn't convert any of their 3 tries. So the try count in the first half was 4-3 to Westville. Westville converted 4 out of 4, and Northwood missed 3 out of 3. That's your 6 points. So
that's the margin.
A 35 all draw if Northwood converts all their conversions or Westville miss a few. And that was essentially that was the difference on the day.
What I enjoyed about them at the festival, now getting back to the Easter Fest, is that they create so much. Yeah. They create so many opportunities. Yeah. And they're looking to play. So they're not. They're actually quite an exciting side.
Lovely side to watch.
Yeah, really great. So kudos to the coach. I love that brand.
Yeah, I played beautiful brand. I got a decent, quick backs, decent pack of forwards, decent size pack of forwards, a good side. Westville, I tell you what, Westville also though, extremely good side. I mean, also got some superstars in that team back from last year. Jeppe Koopman, I think he's a flower for the 10. He's a flower, I think. And they got a couple of boys in there. I got Levi Allen, strong ball carrying 6. They got quality. There's a lot of quality. Luanle Makanya, their flanker. And a number 5 lock is also he must be close to 1.97, 1.98 meters, and well over 100, maybe 105 kgs. They just got some absolute units in that side, and some incredibly skillful backs as well, quick and skillful. So it's a very well balanced side, side. And I tell you what, Jeppe Westville this Saturday, that's going to be box office.
That's going
to be interesting fixture. Now, I told you earlier in the week, I fancy Jeppe's chances if they arrive and they fire. But after watching a Westville Northwood game, I don't know. Westville might be favourites after all.
I think so, again, and its home advantage and all of that. But I think it's going to be very interesting to see, and I know we can just move along again in a way. Is that I think when you look at the rankings and that, what's just come out, is that the Natal schools this year have come to play, and I think they're actually occupying like the position 6 to 9 or 6 to 10. They've got like 4. They've got 3 or 4 schools in the top 10. And you've got, we just spoke about Hilton College, but I think they're undefeated now with that brilliant win against Nudgee. And they're actually ranked one of the lowest out of them. I think they might be 10th or something like that.
Yeah, they're Hilton's 8th, my class 9th, Westville 7th, DHS 6th. Rankings for what they're worth. Rankings
at this point of the season. So I'm just talking about the form line, like you're talking now. If you say Jeppe against Westville, the rankings will tell you that there should be
hammer them. Jeppe are 26th. Jeppe are 26th. Westville are 7.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's ridiculous. And after the Saturday, I think we'll show the rankings up for what they are. Because, I mean, that would suggest that should suggest Westville will win the Saturday 25 to 30 points easy. If it's, and well, maybe they will. I don't know. But, look, I mean, Jeppe's got to pitch up. I mean, make no mistake. And if Jeppe arrive there and they're fat-footed and they can't pick themselves up emotionally and psychologically after the eyes of King Ed beating KES, then they will get pumped. But so they must pitch up. And if they do pitch up, it'll be a great game.
Yeah, I think it's going to. Yeah, it'll be a great game
either way. Great game.
I'm very interested to see now going into this part of the season how the Natal schools sort of form holds up. I know there's going to be a lot of games that they're now going to play each other at this time of year as well, and going towards from halfway to the end of the season.
Typically we don't see them against the Cape schools much.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be difficult. Yeah. If you're going to bring in one or two form lines, which Hilton College may be bringing in a form line through the Nudgy and therefore Grey Bloom result.
Yeah.
You want to bring that form line into it. So it'll be interesting to see them against DHS and Westville and how that sort of works out, how that form works out. Yeah. And it would be great to see them against a side like Northwood as well, and Maritzburg College and Michael House.
Well, Michael House is their derby. They played the Michael House twice. That's their derby.
Yeah, Michael House brings the Jeppe form line into it, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
And also Affies.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, But I mean, Michael House Hilton, that's another huge derby. That's another huge local derby, and they play each other twice. Michael House and Hilton. So I'm not sure they've played them yet. I don't think they've played them yet. And I mean, like Hilton are off this week. They don't even have a fixture this week. So they have a very, I would say, conservative fixture list.
I think they've only got 12 fixtures, Brent.
14. They have 14 fixtures. DHS was cancelled because a lot of the Hilton boys got flu. But that'll be rescheduled. They'll play that game. That'll be rescheduled. But they play Bishop Saturday the 25th. Michael House 2nd of May, and then Michael House again 20th of June to close out the season. So two fixtures against Marco Engelbrecht's Michael House. I'll just put that in there, and those should be good, interesting fixtures. But the only Cape school they're playing is Bishops. That's not this weekend, but the following weekend. Yeah. So I mean it's a conservative fixture list. It's not a bad fixture.
But it's also a traditional fixture list for them.
Traditional, 100%.
Yeah.
But they don't tour. I mean they go to St. John's Easter Festival quite regularly. But this year they're not touring, so they don't do a Wilde Clavers. I think they've done Wilde Clavers in the past, but not this year. They don't do a Grey PE tour. They don't go to Bloem. They don't go down to the Cape for anything. I would love to see them obviously play one of the top 3 Cape schools just to get a measure of how good they really are this season.
Yeah.
But we're not going to see that. But it's okay. It's fine. It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, I think it will be mission accomplished if they go unbeaten for them.
Well, they could. Yeah. I mean, they honestly could. I mean, I presume that DHS fixture is going to be rescheduled. That'll be their toughest.
I would assume so.
Outside of Nudgy, that'll be their toughest fixture of the season.
Yeah.
Bishops they should beat comfortably. Michael House is obviously a derby. Anything can happen at derby, home and away.
Yes.
And Michael House have got form. I mean, they've beaten Affies. They've got good form this season, Michael House.
They've beaten Affies. They've beaten Jeppe.
Under Marco Engelbrecht. They've beaten. Yeah, but Affies is obviously the big one. Not the strongest Affies side we've seen, but Affies was the big one. Jeppe, you'd almost expect that after beating Affies, they beat Jeppe. They got Glenwood. Glenwood aren't particularly flash this season. Pretoria boys. Yeah, Maritzburg College will be tough. Northwood will be extremely tough. Kersney are good this season, but I don't think they could quite comfortably finish the season unbeaten. And then what are we going to rate them number 1 in the country? We're not going to rate them number 1 in the country because they haven't knocked over any of the. They haven't played Affies. They haven't played Grey Bloem. They haven't played Monas. They haven't played Paul Boys, Paul Gym, Paul Rose Gymnasium.
No, 100%, and I think that's what makes it so difficult. You try and scrap around and find form lines to try to figure out.
Yeah.
But I think just in gut feel.
Yeah, that's what just makes rankings. Results. It's just what makes a ranking such a farce, you know. But
a little bit fickle.
It's the only benchmark we have. It's only
yeah.
Yard.
But you know, you might argue about one or two positions here and there, but I think when you ranked,
Top
you know,
five.
if you rank 10th and somebody's ranked number one, then there's usually not a discrepancy, you know, and vice versa, 10th to 20th. They are just, it
Yes.
puts you sort of more in a tier, I think.
Yeah.
And I think the point I was trying to make this is that I think it's going to be hell of interesting to see what Craven Week sides the Sharks put on the field this year, because they've got a lot of the teams. It's not just one or two that's doing well. They've got a group that's actually doing quite well. 4, 5, 6 schools that are already playing good rugby. Still a long season, of course, but you can just see so much talent, and you can see the effort that the guys have put into their rugby programs. You know?
Yeah.
So it's going to be excellent. Excellent to see.
They've got some good players that have come back from last season, particularly from Westville. They played provincial rugby last season, like Quipman, and there are a few guys. But look, I mean, they occupy 6 to 9 on the rankings currently.
Yeah.
So they're right up there, and you know, and Hilton and Marklaus in particular have got good form. You know, maybe two schools which historically Marklaus historically I don't think's been consistently in the top 20, but now you found them in the top 10. So yeah, and I mean DHS are superpower in the KZN area, as we know. So
yeah, they've turned it on over the last couple of years.
They're proper. So let's see. They should be able to put together a very competitive Craven Week side.
Yeah.
What other players are there? What other schoolboy players are there to watch?
Yeah, I think you know I get stuck on things. So once I spot something, then I don't let go. I'm like a dog with a bone.
We're an hour and 10 minutes in. I mean, this is
yeah, I know. You'll have to.
It's going to be a bit of a marathon. This.
Yeah, well, if Joe Rogan can talk for 2 hours, we can talk for 1. But in any case, just coming back to the rankings.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
we didn't message or didn't speak about the best team in the country.
Shit, man! How could we?
Which I've been trumpeting now for.
No, but we're not really. We haven't
weeks.
really been scrutinizing the rankings. We haven't.
No. It's just.
I mean, we're still going to get to the rankings.
Okay.
But yeah, if you want to, if Stellenberg are box office, we can talk about them now. They're box office. Played 5, won 4, lost 1.
And the one that they lost in the last minute against Khassis.
Yeah, I know. What a blemish to have in your season, though. Imagine finishing unbeaten and beating absolute superpowers in South African rugby and losing by 1 to Khassis in the last minute. I mean,
but I think Khassis are a good side.
I don't want to throw shade on Stellenberg, but are they a good side? Khassis, they lost to Jeppe. And this is why you can't. This is why past and present schoolboy results mean nothing. It's like schoolboys are fickle.
Good on them. I think the funny thing is that even for us, but definitely guys from outsiders to schoolboy rugby, Stellenberg seems like a fluke of nature. It's just happened, and who are these guys? And I think that just shows you, like, brand-wise, they were nowhere.
Yeah, well,
as a brand, no, I'm saying as a brand,
people are surprised, but I mean, people are surprised.
The prediction was there.
People have been following schoolboy rugby,
yes,
for the last 20 years.
Under 16 level, they were already predicted, or they used those predictions over 2 under 16 years to predict this year that they were ranked 4th.
Correct.
So
based on the form of their under 16 sides in 2025 and 2024,
they were going to be right up there this year.
They'd be a top 5 side, and they've done exactly that. Well done to them. That's incredible. I think incredible.
It's incredible, and it's the names that they've taken down in a row.
Yeah,
they've taken down Paul Jim,
huge,
Great Bloom. Bring it on, Paul Rus, boom. And so that's where the fixture list that you choose works for you, and you actually say, okay, my program can back it up.
No, that's 3 superpowers they've knocked over in a space of 3 weeks or whatever it is.
Yeah. I think sometimes when we talk about rankings, we say, how can it be? Because this team, like you'll say, use a Gasfontein as an example. They've beaten these acts, but they've lost to Jeppe, and then
Yeah.
and then they maybe get a higher ranking because they've beaten Stellenbosch,
Yeah.
or whatever. But this is legit a team that deserves the #1 title at the moment.
Well, yeah, 100%, except for
Yeah.
the one blemish, but.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but they're still #1. They've beaten all those big names.
Yeah, 100%. No,
So,
they're there. They're 100% there. It'd be lovely if they can see out the season undefeated. I'm not sure what their schedule looks like for the rest of the season. I imagine it'd be pretty tough.
I think it does tone
well,
down a bit.
they probably played the cream of the crop. I suppose it can't get tougher than what they've just played. In terms.
I think it's just. I think they've got a bit of. It will ease up for them.
Yeah.
But in terms of, I think other than them.
Yeah, they got Melkbos Strand, but I don't think that'll be strength versus strength. And Absa Wilde Clavers, Maritzburg College at Diamantveld, you'd expect 2 comfortable wins there. They got Wynberg on the 2nd of May. Wynberg's going to be a bit of a banana peel there for them because Wynberg are a good side this year. Oakdale, who drew with Paul Boys Eye. So they got Oakdale and Paul Boys Eye on consecutive Saturdays.
It's actually tough fixtures still.
Yeah, it is. They got Rondebosch, they got Belleville.
No, that's very tough.
Ships, Gordon, Dunbo, Outeniqua, Durbanville will be tough. Look, it is a tough fixture still to go. 20 fixtures this season, although two of these fixtures are blacked out. I'm referencing Beats SA School Rugby Blog's fixture list.
Yeah.
So 2 of these are Melkbos Strand and HTS Belleville. I don't think that'll be first versus first. Those are blacked out. So I think that might be like seconds versus first or thirds or first. I don't think it'll be so take those 2 away and it's 18 fixtures and 18 seasons, 18 fixtures for the season. But they've beaten 3 powerhouses, 4 if you count Garsfontein. Oh, they didn't beat them. They lost to Garsfontein. But they've beaten 3 powerhouses in the space of a month. Grey College, Porus, Palcom. Nothing more to say, dude. They are the form side. They're the side to beat. I mean, they're
the side to beat, and I think we could all do well to sort of jot down a few names from that squad that we'll be seeing around for a while in professional rugby.
100%. But my sort of only worry is that it's that it becomes like a sort of like a one-off, like a wider shade of pale.
I think that was nice to sort of now do a bit of homework on them and hear what the sort of ethos is. And they don't buy players; they're developing them. They're developing them, and what I enjoy the headmaster saying is that they just took they put the structure in place from the bottom up almost.
Yeah.
So they appoint a forwards and a backline coach and an S&C for under 14Es.
Yeah. 100%.
And that's the difference. So
they're investing in coaching. and
and their pipeline, where they're going to produce. And then they say they now become an option for kids in the area that don't need to go to Stellenbosch and Paul to get the same opportunities. Which is lovely. And we want to see more of that, I think throughout the country. And it's nice to have a new kid on the block. It makes it just, listen.
Freshens things
we
up.
We say who's up there, Stellenbosch's the shock. But when in living memory can you think of Affies being out of the top 10?
Yeah, or Paul Boys for that matter.
So I think it's been great. It's great when these new upstarts come along and upset the way things are. They disrupt the system a bit.
It's been a shift.
So I'm very pleased for them. Right?
Yeah, there's been a bit of a shift this season. A shift in the hierarchy. I love
that joke, man. So I couldn't be happier that Stellenbosch on top of the world.
100%. No, it's good. It is great. Let's hope Let's hope their form continues. And don't see.
You wanted to talk about a couple of players.
A couple of. Look, I mean, we don't really have a Marcus Muller this season. Like the last 3, like 2025, 2024, 2023. I mean, for 3 years, people were talking about Marcus Muller. I mean, that Oki is the second coming. I mean, but we don't seem to have a Marcus Muller this season.
Second coming of Donny Gerber.
We don't seem to have a Marcus. But we've got a Sebastian from Newland, though, from Rondebosch. 2.06 meter lock, 140 odd kgs. So, like he's just one of these freaks of nature. That's sort of been unearthed this season. I don't know how good a player he is. I mean, I haven't really watched. He plays for Bosch's first team. I haven't watched too much of their rugby this season. They're not a side that's really dominating. They lost to Weinberg last weekend, 27-17, I think it was. So they're not really they're a top 20 side maybe. Haven't seen much of the guy, but I mean, just his physical, just on size and stature, I mean, that's absolute monster. But I'll tell you, the guys that impressed me, I know you had a few guys at the St. John's Easter Festival you loved. But I also had I had the two loose forwards in the Welkom Gymnasium side. The number 7. You didn't watch too much. I don't think you've watched the Westlake Welkom Gymnasium.
I didn't watch that game. No. I watched them against the
Golden Lions.
Invitational Lions team.
Golden Lions, and their number 7, I think, is their captain as well, Regan Krieger. That is absolute dynamite. Him and the 8th man, Emil Machaleba. I hope I haven't butchered his name. But he was... Machaleba was the guy that came on against the Golden Lions in the 22 jersey. Remember, straight away we noticed the guy. We said, wait a minute.
Looks a good player there.
That's their star player. That's the guy they're keeping his powder dry for the Westlake game. And they brought him... The Golden Lions wasn't going their way. So they brought him on quite late in the piece just to
try and resurrect something.
Try to get them back in the game. And every time he touched the ball, I mean, such physical presence, so dynamic, pace to burn. And it was the same against Westlake. Westlake started that game like a house on fire. They went 24-0 up in double quick time. Krieger and Emil did start that game, but those two Lucy's and Welkom Gymnasium's back 3 got them back in the game. And I mean, it ended like at one stage it was like 24-19. They got back in the game incredibly. Those two Lucy's working in tandem, the 7 and 8. Jesus, they were good. I tell you what, those boykies, just good.
But that's what I'm saying. It's nice to when we do this. Obviously, like I say, it's not. We don't need to tell everybody about the Grey Bloom flower off because everybody's watching him every week.
Yes,
it's nice to see these kind of players come through. You say, we'll be keeping an eye out on these players. Maybe, hopefully, they get into the respective Cravenweek regional teams, and that they get the best opportunity to show what they can do. But it just shows you how much talent, Brett, that we have in this country. My number 1 pick at the moment is, and I don't have his name now, so I'll have to do my homework, is the 14 from Northwood.
14 from Northwood, you loved him.
Outstanding right wing, pace to burn, great hands, good on defense. I mean, good feet. He is just,
box office.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Not to overuse it, but I just think I look forward to seeing him hopefully at Cravenweek. Like I say, we only comment on what we've actually seen and what we've watched. I don't know if there's a better right wing than him out there, so I may be proved wrong, but he's just such a quality player. He looks to have all the attributes to go a far way in the game. And then Kingswood. Kingswood, which the 7 there, Kingswood. I was trying to pick up his name today, and I couldn't. I don't have it. I didn't get it right. He is something to also look at. I'm sure he'll be. They fall under border, right? So, they don't fall under Eastern Province, right?
No, I think it's I'm not sure.
Border.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know exactly how it works because they're private schools, so maybe they decide where they affiliate. But I expect to see more of that youngster.
Kingswood,
I literally tried to do my homework on him and I couldn't pick it up. It wasn't the name I was looking for.
Yeah, located in Makanda. Yeah, but you also liked a couple of those Graham's. Was it Graham's College also had a freaking monster 7? Was it Graham College? College. Hey, I'm sure it was Graham.
Northwood. It was also Northwood.
It was Graham
Northwood
College.
7.
Grahamstown. Kingswood College in Grahamstown,
the Northwood 7 and 14, and the Kingswood 7 and 14. So maybe I'm just watching 7s and 14s. I don't
That
know.
seems
Maybe I'm
like
not
it.
noticing. Maybe I'm not noticing everybody else on the field. But
But Graham
both of
College,
them,
Graham College also impressed me at St. John's Festival.
yeah, they were a good.
I enjoyed them. I enjoyed
They were
that
good value,
performance.
but you sort of expected them
Yeah, St.
to.
Benedict's. I mean, they were always going to knock
I
St.
mean,
Benedict's.
yeah, you've got to think that they were the favourites to beat them by quite a margin. You know.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. I don't think we know who the best Eastern Cape school is at the moment this year
Yeah.
because I don't know if there's anybody particularly strong.
Well, I
I
think
think
it's
there's
Graham.
going to be
I'd say it's Graham College.
well, maybe it is Graham
Are
College.
they
I
Eastern?
think
Yeah, no, I definitely think it's Graham College, to be honest.
Graham College and Kingswood, have they played each other?
Nah,
Because
Kingswood. I think Kingswood played Monument. Was it Monument played
Kingswood
Kingswood
played
at the
Monument,
festival?
and it was
43-27.
also yes,
43-27. Yeah.
yeah, which I think is a good showing from a school like Kingswood.
No, it is.
You know,
I don't look. Look, Pearson were good at KES Easterfest, but I
they
don't
actually
think
were very good.
I don't think they're the strongest side in the Eastern Cape.
I think it's going to be tough to call this year. We're
I
going
don't
to
know.
have
I'd
to
say
let the
it's
season
Graham.
unfold a bit
No,
further.
I'd say it's Graham comfortably. Yeah,
I think to see Graham College play Kingswood, I'd like to see.
I think it's Graham versus Queens.
Queens.
Yeah, Graham, Queens, or King. Yeah, look, Queens have knocked over Noordevil. Not particularly strong Noordevil side, but they
I think
still knocked them over.
this year. Yeah,
Oh, weak.
I don't think Noordevil or they are a shadow of themselves from last year.
No, I agree. But yeah,
They had a very, very strong side last year.
Yeah, it's Graham College, Kingswood, and Queens. Those are your three. I would say your three. Look, and how will we judge it? We'll judge it based on how they perform against each other, and obviously how many representatives they have in the respective Craven
and I
sides.
think Grey PE obviously also have their
festival.
Sorry,
Grey PE's in there. Grey PE should be in there as well, yeah.
Yeah, I sort of had this gut feel that they're not as strong as normal this year, but we will see. I don't want to call. That's why I say it's too early to call the Eastern Cape, but I think a lot of the teams haven't played enough games yet.
I don't see a fixture here for Graham versus Grey PE. That can't be right, surely. Graham not playing Grey PE. That's peculiar. And you know what else? Oh, you know what else? Which is not going to excite you. Graham College do not play Kingswood because
they did not.
No, they freaking ousted them because of poaching. Couple of seasons ago, I mentioned this to you at the.
I thought that was sort of their derby, wasn't it?
Well, not anymore. They don't play Kingswood. They called off that fixture on the back of unfair practices and that sort of thing, recruiting their players.
Oh wow!
So that fixture's not going to happen. But I'm surprised there's no Grey PE versus Graham College. I don't understand that. Unless Beats fixture lists incorrect, which it could be. You never know. I'd expect that to be it. I'd expect that. No, but you'd expect Graham versus Grey PE. Surely.
I don't know if it's a traditional fixture though.
It must be, man. It must be. How could it not be? I mean, the two powerhouses in the region. It has to be, surely.
Yeah, you would think so.
Unless Graham is not in the Eastern Cape.
I don't think we should. You mentioned them now. I don't think we should throw Pearson away yet either. They were actually quality at KES Festival. Eh?
They were good. They
were
as good as their opposition allowed them to be.
Opposition
allowed them to be very good. No, look, it was attractive. They played, but who did they play? They played. Was it Elderain? They beat Elderain. The other thing, I don't find them too impressive against Cranbrook, that Australian school. Yeah, Cranbrook. Beat them 26-14 after going up quite early in the game. Pearson did. They were like 14-0 up, and they looked to be well in control. And they sort of Cranbrook sort of wrestled back, controlling that game. And the second 60 minutes, the second 40 minutes of the game was basically 14-all, and or 14-12. Pearson were good in their first game, but when the competition was in their face and pushing them and putting them under a bit of pressure, they sort of. And if I have a look at their results so far this season, Pearson. But you know what? We mustn't start talking about this because this we'll be stuck on this topic for days. They beaten St Andrews 22-17. It was Elderain at KES Fest 64-14. Elderain, very average side. Beat Cranbrook 26-14, and they've played and beaten Selborne since then, 20 points to 5.
Yeah, Selborne aren't particularly strong this year, though.
I don't see a fixture here between Pearson and Grey PE either.
That would be weird.
I've got a feeling that Beats fixture lists are not 100% properly updated here. Either that or
you can quickly do that and just look at what Grey PE's
I'm on them now.
Fixtures are.
I'm on them now. They got Bullet Lunbow cancelled. They played Hudson Park 33-12, Parktown 40 points to 18. That was at the Pretoria Festival. They got smashed by Uffies 1959. Beaten Dale recently 24-12. That was on the 11th. They got Paul Riss this Saturday. Good grief. Then they got Michael House and Pretoria Boys Eye at the Grey Rugby Festival. That's also nice. 2 interesting features. They got Queens.
Yeah.
Queens, Wynberg, St Andrews, Daniel Pienaar, Framesby, Grey College, Muir, and Selborne. So I think maybe we might have our areas mixed up a bit here, but no Graham College here, and no Pearson. So maybe geographically here we failed. Did you pass geography at school? I don't know.
No, but that's what I'm telling you. I said to you, it's probably not a traditional fixture. I mean, they're in Grahamstown. This is not around the corner either. You know, it's like a tour.
How far is Grahamstown from?
Let's say Port Alfred is an hour and a half, and Grahamstown's inland from there. So I would say, and please, nobody criticize me, but I would say it's probably 2 hours away.
Okay.
It would be like saying that somebody in Bloem is and you're based in Joburg, and it's your...
Not really, it's like 6 hours.
Okay, now spread.
5 hours, yeah. Oh.
But listen, we're not
just geography
lessons.
Fair enough.
Because I haven't used that for a while.
Okay. So
but
just
I think, just to the guys out there, this has obviously been a first show, and the timing of it is that there was a lot to talk about. It will get significantly shorter.
Sorry, but are you busy wrapping up now? What?
No. I just wanted to. So you said we're on for so long. So I was like, no, well,
scared you were wrapping up. I was scared you were wrapping up. I still got more to
about. No, I cannot wrap up. You can wrap it up.
No, we've got to wrap up soon. But just in terms of players to watch, though.
Yeah.
Not necessarily coming through the schoolboys season this season.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you look at Siaya and Luan Gelomi, both those youngsters who were freaking schoolboy heroes last year are both now made, or Siaya this weekend maybe make his debut for the Sharks in a ERC match, and Gelomi we know has made his debut also. Got a couple of caps now ready for the Sharks. So I mean, those are 2 dynamic schoolboy players last couple of seasons. Who have already been blooded into the Sharks, or USC squad. So it's nice to see them giving them opportunity. At such a young age.
The reality, Brent, is that schoolboy rugby has come a long way. It's always been good in our history, but it's come a long way. There's this weird gap now because club rugby is not what it used to be.
Yeah.
So the feeder and the pipeline seems to have been that our schoolboys are obviously being conditioned to be pros. I mean, we look at all these schools; they train like pros. They got strength and conditioning trainers, and this is not your PT teacher chasing around the field a couple of times back in the 80s. Yeah. So it's become so much more scientific. The recruiting's happening. The level of coaching at all levels is just much higher.
Yeah.
So I think it's just natural, and it's going to be the future, is that the schoolboys are going to step straight into professional rugby. And there is no club system ready. And I speak under the correction. I don't want to upset anybody out there, but let's be honest, the club rugby isn't what it was in the 80s and 90s clubs, where guys could make their way through that into the system.
Yeah.
And then you've obviously got Varsity Cup. And these schoolboys will also go through and be able to get bursaries and get their education perhaps paid for, even if they're not going to become a pro rugby player. So I just love the way that the focus or the interest is there with schoolboy rugby. It's just fantastic for the boys. I mean,
it's huge.
And it's fantastic for us to watch.
What a product!
Incredible. What a product to watch.
No, it's incredible.
Everyone plays attractive rugby.
Yeah, yeah, they do.
They really go for it. The guys are trying to play the most attractive rugby possible, and
Yeah.
yeah,
They haven't they haven't been coached out of playing with their instincts.
Yeah, I know.
Taught just
Years ago, yes, the guys used to be boring, man. Kick, kick.
Yeah.
But the game's changed now, and all the schools are bought into it. So,
It's a great product.
Yeah, it's wonderful
pretty professional. I mean, it's
absolutely.
We joke about schoolboy rugby being professional in South Africa, but it pretty much is to an extent. I mean, some of these kids, some of these kids get an allowance. They go to school, they get their fees paid, they get an allowance, a weekly allowance. But it is what it is. Some people in some quarters are pretty critical of how competitive and professional it's become. But I think like there's the argument that school kids should be playing rugby for fun, but and for enjoyment, and for the most part they do. But at the first team level, in a top 20 school or a school that's consistently in the top 20, I'm afraid it's unfortunate reality. It's less about fun and more about being super competitive, winning.
I find things like that
it's just reality,
I find it very funny when people say things like that in today's age.
Yeah.
Rugby is a legitimate career.
Yeah, 100%.
It would be like telling me kids should be doing maths for fun.
Yeah.
Why they're just not having fun? Why maths teachers so serious about maths? Because none of us have become mathematicians.
Yeah.
So why do we need to have this? No, you need to apply yourself as best you can and use whatever abilities that God gave you to get further in life. And like I say, even if it helps kids travel or it helps them get their education or varsity paid for.
Yeah.
I'm really completely. I don't want the kids to be under pressure. Like I don't like the screaming and the shouting from the sidelines and But just to say, oh, we're just going to muck about and let's just have fun, and then we can. It's just I find it redundant that argument. Professional sport is a career.
Yeah.
And people who say that obviously never been near professional sport.
Yeah.
So I watched something with old Jesse Creel, an interview with him and his path and all of that, and he was like he decided in under 15s he wanted to become a professional rugby player.
Yeah.
Now that's not something he worked. He had a logbook. He had goals that he needed to achieve. He needed to weigh so much by this time and be able to bench press this and do all that. Yeah. So it's a respected career choice. And this is not about when we grew up. We say, oh, every boy wants to play for the Springboks. And even today, you can say every boy wants to play Springboks. But by the time he's standard 6 and he's playing under 14s, D's, then he knows he's not going to become a Springbok, but he's playing for enjoyment. You know what I'm saying? But when you're a serious player that's, playing A teams and first teams at these big schools and playing in these festivals and so it's about, like I said, it's a legitimate career choice. When you're at these top schools playing against top opposition and you're playing Craven Week and you're playing age group level representative rugby, it becomes as important as anything else that you're doing at school. I'm not saying kids in the lower teams, they're playing it as an extramural for camaraderie and life lessons and things like that. But you've got these guys that are playing in serious rugby teams, first teams. They put they say we're spending R1 billion collectively on rugby programs in this country a year.
Yeah, it's huge.
So why would we be doing that if it's not a legitimate career choice? And as I say, we'll figure this out. We'll have to edit it, but it's Yarrow there. You either go, you can open it up doors to go overseas and play rugby there. It opens up doors to go to university. So. And for so many guys, this may be the only or one of their big opportunities to get out of certain situations. The education side of it.
Yeah, look, I think also
I like it as gone professional.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. You like it, it's gone professional. But yeah, look, I mean, but yeah, I suppose you see on the flip side as well. I mean, what percentage of these guys breaking their balls now to or their backs to freaking make first team, dedicating their life to play first team and play for a top 20 school? Like, what percentage of these guys are actually going to go on to make a living out of rugby? And it's a very small percentage. That's the
And it is. But what I want to just add into that is that out of those, how many get bursaries to go to varsity?
yeah. Well, that's the spin-off.
So
Yeah,
then it's like I used the example of maths.
yeah,
There's guys out there that are busy breaking their balls, doing better in maths, so that they could possibly get a bursary to get to university. You
yeah,
know, and this might be these guys' chance to get
yeah. Another
tertiary
avenue.
education.
Yeah,
I
another
just think it's
avenue.
another opportunity.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But in saying that, I think we did circle. We can circle back to this conversation. Is that I think there's a huge responsibility on the coaches of these teams,
Yeah,
of these schoolboy teams, to keep it into perspective from as a coach. That it's not life or death on Saturday. And we spoke about this injury to that Grey Bloom inside centre.
yeah.
What's Klein? Eh?
Orion Klein, yeah.
Yeah. And, you and I were both at the game. We could both see without being doctors that he was hobbling off, had to be helped off the field, returned a couple minutes later with a heavily bandaged knee. We could see him battling while he was on the field, and he was still tossed with the drop kicks, to the kickoffs. It was like the worst thing you can do to an injured knee when he got his. It's probably one of the worst things for a knee, anyway.
Yeah,
And it's now come out that he's out for the season.
Yeah.
His ACL was gone.
yeah,
So I think there I have an issue with it.
yeah. That's the
When
ugly
it
side
comes
of
down to player safety and things like that.
no, that's the ugly side. That's the ugly side of schoolboy rugby in this country. The win at all costs aspect. I mean, the guy was he was injured in the 40th minute. We were watching. We were at the ground. You could see the way he was limping. That it was terminal. But I mean, and he limped off the field in the 40th minute, and we thought, oh, that's his game. Obviously, neither of us would have known the extent of the injury. I doubt the medical staff. They might have had some idea, but I doubt the medical staff would have had an accurate read of what the injury was. Thing is, they strapped him up. I mean, they strapped him up and they sent him back on. He was back on the field within 10 minutes. So, and I mean, you can just see he's struggling. He's back on. He's doing his best, but he's struggling. And I mean, it's just. And it's a torn ACL apparently, and that's technically the end of his season. And you just wonder, who's going to take responsibility for that? It's just it's negligent. It's extremely negligent. We feel of the staff to send him back on the field to play. But that's it. That's the ugly side of. I think that's the side of pro rugby at school level that people have got a fundamental issue with, and you can't blame them.
No, that I agree completely. When it comes to player safety, it's not even a question. It's not a question. No.
Sadly, folks, I think that's all we've got time for.
Yes, it's been great, Brenty. It's an exciting time of the year, and next week we have it's 2 weeks time. It's the Absa Wilderklawe festival. That's really where the difference is between the men and the boys, I suppose. A lot of scouts will be out there and agents and all sorts. So that's going to be a big one. But yeah, it's really been a good chatting.
Yeah.
I look forward to a long schoolboy rugby season. What about you?
Yeah, it should be good. At the time of posting this video, it'll probably be a couple of days. By the time we get this video out, it'll probably be a couple of days till Wilderklawe. That's due to kick off on Friday. So depending on when we publish this video, it could be a day or two till Wilderklawe. And we've got the Grey Pea Festival coming up as well.
Yes.
Plus our usual round of weekend fixtures, including KES versus Pretoria Boys, which is a big one, a big derby.
Yes.
Which I'm looking forward to. We'll definitely be there.
100%.
And 100%. And yeah,
Absolutely
we'll
100%.
definitely cover that. And I think our next show will cover Wilde Clavers, Grey P, KES versus Pretoria.
Yeah.
We'll have a chat about that. And yeah, so if you've enjoyed this content, please like, subscribe. Feel
Yeah, I
free.
think if the guys made it through this far, they better
Oh,
like and subscribe.
they
Eh, friend?
stayers, 100%. They keepers.
Proper.
Absolutely. Feel free to comment on anything you like or dislike, or any improvements we can make. I'm sure people have lots of ideas when it comes to these sort of things. So yeah, I think that's it, and we'll see you again soon.
Yeah, that'll be great. Look
Cool.
forward to it.
Over and out.
Cheers.
Cheers, pal.